that was clean. 164.
On this scramble, Elyas does the green V. He starts off by solving this green-red bar in one move, and then he inserts this green-yellow edge like that, and that also solved that edge, which then gives him a hedge. So your solution on this scramble was not good, considering that it was 11 moves and there were much more efficient bodies you could have found. On green, for example, you could have seen that this creates a one move pseudo V, and you should be able to figure out the case and do ML4E. So you could have done B to solve that bar, and then done ML4E like this, and then canceled into doing the, instead of doing that, you can cancel and do that, and that gives a 7 move body. Another solution that I think is actually better is doing red, and this one is pretty easy to see as well. You can solve this red yellow edge and this red green edge, and when you do that, if you do RLR and then RLRL, that will solve the V, and then that will bring this edge right here while preserving that, so you get a really nice 3 move insert afterwards. So you just do RLRL R U prime R prime, and that's also 7 moves. Okay, so other solutions you could have seen as well that are not 7 moves but still pretty good is on yellow. If you see the centers and the way they're set up, it's the 3 move 1 flip case, and that's also perfect because it's going to solve the V when you do it. And now you just have a choice of which edge to flip. So if you flip this edge, you're going to get a sledge. If you flip this edge, you're going to get an insert. So flip this edge and insert it, and that's 8 moves. Another way that you could have solved the green V and done an 8 move body is by doing L U prime L R prime, and then that gives you a really nice case as well.
214.
On this scramble, Elyas does yellow. He starts off by solving the red bar, which sets up the green, and then does L4E like that. One issue with your solution is that you're doing an inefficient L4E alg. A better alg for this case is like that, which is something you should know at your level. Also, there were better solutions you could have found, like for example on blue. If you wanted to set up L3E, you can solve the yellow and green edges and then set up this yellow green edge with 2 moves like that, solves that edge, sets up this edge, solves that, and then you solve this edge with a B prime, and then you do L to solve that bar, and here you get this L4E alg, and then you just cancel into that, or you can just see that as just solving it. There were also like countless 12 move bodies that I found that are all more efficient than what you did, so I would challenge you to find as many 12 move bodies as you can, or lower than that, because you usually don't want to be going over 12.
$196.
On this scramble, Elyas does yellow V. He solves it in the front by solving this center, matches up this bar, and then matches up that bar, rotates, and does sledge, use sledge. So your solution on the scramble was not great. A better solution for this scramble that's 7 moves is to do blue, and there's a 3 move V that you can solve this edge and this edge, just doing L, R, L, and that gives you a really easy case. I didn't really like the angles for execution for that. And the way I decided to do that was by rotating it this way and doing R, U, R, and then I did R wide prime, U, L prime, U.
Okay. 191.
On the scramble, Elyas does red. He does the red blue and the red green edges, and so he brings this red green over here so that he can solve this blue edge while solving this edge. So that looks like this. Do an L prime to match that up, and then since he moved it over, when he solves that, it gets paired up, and then he just gets this case. The way you did that was not that great, because if you knew an alternate alg for that L4E case, you could have canceled into doing this, and that gives you this case with no AUF. Other than that, there really wasn't anything great. Like here, you could have canceled into that alg, which is fine. Yeah, I didn't really see much else other than that.
I think so. Oh, sub 2. 197.
On this scramble, Elyas does yellow V. He sees that there's this big block here, so he just does L prime, U prime, L prime, rotates, does a U, and then does this L4 alg. So your solution for the scramble was not really that great. You did a rotation and you did an inefficient L4 alg when you could have done this. However, there was an 8-move body that you could have done. There's actually 2 ways of doing it. So you can do L prime BL to solve that center and make that bar, and that preserves this edge. So doing the V would be like that. And the way you would find this 8-move body is seeing that solving that does not affect this. And when you do that move, it's gonna create this L3E bar. And then just look at where this edge goes. It's gonna end up right here. And this edge is gonna end up right here. So it's just gonna be a insert away. So you can do it like that. Or you can see that this is 1 move away from being a TL4E case. And the way you solve this is very similar. You just do that, and you get it from that side. And you don't need to know the TL4E algorithm for this. It's also pretty intuitive to figure it out. But yeah, those are both 8 movers. Alright, so things I have for you to work on is learning better L4E algs. I'll leave a document in the description to my V1st algorithm page that has all of my L4E algs, alternate algs, ML4E, and TL4E algs. I wouldn't learn those TL4E algs because those are probably all out of date, so I'm gonna update those eventually. But the ML4E and L4E algs are pretty solid, and yeah, learn all of those, and also start working on forcing L3E as often as you can. Doing V's with like V moves like that can be really useful because you can force L3E in a lot of different ways by doing that, and it's also really fast. So yeah, just work on those types of things, do a lot of FMC, and yeah, just keep practicing. You're already pretty damn good.